Assalamualaikum, this is me, Javed from BSBT Western holding ID 20010231018, and the subject is Principle of Chemistry 1. I'm here to present my part, which is sodium lauryl sulfate. Let's talk about its introduction. Sodium lauryl sulfate is an ionic surfactant. It can lower the surface tension of the aqueous solution. It is also used as a research tool in protein biochemistry. A soap-like compound that lathers easily used chiefly in laundry detergents, cleaning products, and toilets, such as shower gel and shampoo. Sodium lauryl sulfate, an accepted contraction of the sodium lauryl ether sulfate, also called sodium alkyl ether sulfate, is an ionic detergent and surfactant found in many personal care products, soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, etc. And for industry uses, SLES is an inexpensive and very effective foaming agent. SLES, sodium lauryl sulfate, ammonium lauryl sulfate, and sodium perrate sulfate are surfactants that are used in many cosmetic products for their cleaning and emulsifying properties. It is derived from palm kernel oil or coconut oil. In herbicides, it is used as surfactant to improve absorption of the herbicidal chemicals and reduces the time the product takes to the rain fast when enough of the herbaceous agent will be absorbed. SLES is an inexpensive and very effective foaming agent. SLES, sodium lauryl sulfate, SLES, ammonium lauryl sulfate, and sodium perrate sulfate are surfactants that are used in many cosmetic products for the cleaning and emulsifying properties. And next point is basically how bad is sodium lauryl sulfate. So the ingredient can cause itching, pain, and redness when it comes in contact with eyes. The strong concentrations of the compound in skincare and hair care products can also cause excessive dryness. In some cases, the presence of sodium lauryl sulfate in toothpaste can even lead to the development of mouth sores. Chemical formula. Its chemical formula is CH3, CH2, 11O, CH2, CH2N, OSO3Na. Sometimes the number represented by N is specified in the name. For example, Laureth 2 sulfate. The product is heterogeneous in the number of ethoxyl groups, where N is the mean. Laureth 3 sulfate is the most common one in the commercial products and the production. SLES is prepared by ethoxylation of didoxyl alcohol, which is produced industrially from palm kernel oil and coconut oil. The resulting ethoxylate is converted to a half ester of sulfuric acid, which is neutralized by the conservation of the sodium salt. The related surfactant sodium lauryl sulfate, also known as sodium didoxyl sulfate or SDS, is produced similarly, but without the ethoxylation step. SLS and ammonium lauryl sulfate are commonly used alternatives to SLES in consumers' products. Safety. Now talk about safety tests in the US indicate that it is safe for consumer use. The Australian government's Department of Health and Aging and its National Industrial Chemicals Notifications and Assessment Scheme and ICNAS have determined SLES does not react with DNA. Let's talk about its irritation. Like many other detergents, SLES is an irritant. It also has been shown that SLES causes eye or skin irritation in experiments conducted on animals or humans. The related surfactant SLS is also known as irritant, so it basically causes irritation in humans and animals as well. One for dioxin contamination. Some products containing SLES contain traces up to 300 ppm of 1,4-dioxane, which is formed as a byproduct during the exhalation step of its production. 1,4-dioxane is classified by the International Agency for Research of Cancer as a group 2B carcinogen, possibly carcinogenic to humans. The United States Food and Drug Administration's FDA recommends that these levels be monitored and encourages manufacturers to remove 1,4-dioxane though it is not required by federal law. Now talk about how it is made in like manufacturation. Manufacturization. Sodium lauryl sulfate can be made from petroleum oil via the auxil process or from coconut or palm oil via the Zilger process. In both processes, fatty acids are extracted and converted to the fatty alcohols, then sulfonated to become a crystalline salt. If SLS undergoes a chemical process called ethoxylation, it becomes SLES. Sodium lauryl sulphate is a cleaning agent and surfactant, and it is an ingredient in many personal care and cleaning products. SLS can be derived from natural sources like coconut and palm kernel oil and can also be manufactured in laboratory setting. Now talk about, does sodium lauryl sulphate cause cancer? There is no specific evidence scientific evidence supporting that SLS is a carcinogen according to one recent study. In fact, SLS is not listed as a carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, US National Toxicology Program, US Environmental Protection Agency, and the European Union. Now talk about environmental toxicity profile. Use and disposal of cleaning products release SLS into the environmental via household wastewater systems. Therefore, the environmental toxicity profile is an important consideration when evaluating the risk. Toxicity profile is an important consideration when evaluating the risk and benefits of the using SLS in household cleaning product formulation. Although the environmental toxicity of SLS does not appear to be a point of debate in online communications, a concise review is included to demonstrate the end-use effect of its ingredient. First toxicity is aquatic toxicity. Aquatic toxicity refers to the short-term adverse effect that results from the exposure of aquatic life to a chemical or formulation. This type of toxicity is measured in terms of median lethal concentration, which indicates the quantity by volume reported as milligrams of substances per liter of water required to kill half of the experimental populations exposed to that dose. Ingredients or formulations with an LC50 of 100 mg divided by L are classified as non-toxic to aquatic life. As a raw material, the LC50 for SLS is reported between 1 and 13.9 mg by L after 96 hours, categorizing it as moderately toxic to aquatic life. Like acute oral toxicity, aquatic toxicity values for individual ingredients do not directly correspond with the toxicity of formulated consumer products. This means that while SLS is moderately toxic to aquatic life in its raw material form, product formulations that contain dilutions of SLS are not necessarily moderately toxic and in fact can be non-toxic to aquatic life. However, the toxicity of SLS depends largely on the marine species, water hardness, and water temperature. By the time cleaning product ingredients reach natural waters, they are mostly degraded. Ecotoxicity studies have determined that a sufficient concentration of 0.5 milligram per liter of natural water would be essentially non-toxic to fish and other aquatic life under most conditions. It is suggested, however, that chronic toxicity of anionic surfactants occurs at concentrations as low as 1 milligram per liter. Now, next one is biodegradability, the ability of chemical to decompose into simple, non-toxic components under ambient environmental conditions within a short period of time. Typically 96 hours means that it is biodegradable. SLS is readily biodegradable under aerobic and anaerobic conditions and therefore does not persist in the environment. The biodegradation of SLS occurs via hydrolytic cleavage of the sulfate, ester bond leaving inorganic sulfate and fatty alcohol. These fatty alcohols undergo oxidation to produce fatty acids, which are degraded by beta oxidation and fully mineralized and incorporated into the biomass. Thus, the decomposed byproducts of SLS are begin to the environment. Now we move to the next topic, which is bio-based content. The bio-based content of an ingredient is a primary criterion for formulating sustainable consumer products. The bio-based content of an ingredient or formula is the percentage of carbon molecules in the chemical or formula that is derived from a renewable source such as coconut or palm kernel. The bio-based content of plant-derived SLS is 100%, which is indicated that all of the carbon in the molecules is derived from the plant source rather than a non-renewable petroleum source. By comparison, SLS, a surfactant commonly used in household cleaning products, formulations, is an ethoxylated surfactant containing carbon molecules derived from the petroleum. SLES ethoxylate with the petrochemicals has a bio-based content of 76% from a sustainability and environmental health perspective. Sourcing surfactants such as plant-derived SLS avoids incurring the additional environmental and human health impacts caused by the extraction of petroleum and the production of petrochemicals. Now talk about the sodium lauryl sulfate market report coverage. The best year is 2020. Market size in 2020 is 591.10 million USD. Forecast period is 2021 to 2027, and the forecast period 2021 to 2027 CAGR is 3.8%, and 2027 value projection is 806.82 million USD. Historical data for is 2017 to 2020. And number of pages are 140, tables, charts, and figures are 172. Segments covered are product, applications, and regions. And the growth drivers, growing demand for detergents and cleaners, increasing demands for personal care products, rising demand for industrial cleaners, and the pitfalls and challenges, health and environmental hazards associated to SLS, lack of awareness in the emerging nations. Organizations including the National Cleaners Association and the Worldwide Cleaning Industry Association are spreading awareness and imposing strict regulations on maintaining public health and safety standards. The impact of the recent COVID-19 pandemic has been relatively positive owing the applications of SLS in laundry detergents, home cleaning, and industrial cleaning products. The sudden increase in the demand of these products during the COVID-19 pandemic to fight the virus has increased overall sodium lauryl sulfate market share globally. Many regions have experienced significant demand for SLS due to increased consumption of home cleaning products and detergents in hospitals. The sodium lauryl sulfate market is evolving and can be evident from the prevalence of the COVID-19 pandemic, where companies are launching new products that are more efficient in the market. Moreover, SLS is widely used in medicinal products as tablet and capsule are more efficient in the market. Moreover, SLS is widely used in medicinal products as tablet and capsule lubricants owing to its high solubilizing capacity, excellent penetration, and emulsifying ability. Nevertheless, SLS cosmetics and beauty products can cause dry skin by stripping the natural oil, which may result in skin irritation and allergic reactions. SLS demand in personal care applications will experience sluggish growth owing the customers switching to natural and organic products over the assessment period. Now there are some applications, and the first application is dishwashing liquids, household detergents and cleaners, industrial cleaners, personal care products, liquid, dry, and dry are three kinds of like powder, needless, granules. And this is all about my topic. Thank you so much.